That was way too maniacal.
No, it's nothing crazy.
Oh, Jesus. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bump and Run. I'm Pete Colasano, joined as always by my good friend, Mr. Scott Bracey. What's going on, dude?
Peter, let me be the first to wish you a happy off season. Try to find some stuff to do and stuff to talk about, and
Get to rest for a little bit, maybe.
well, at least the weather's not 12 degrees to make us more depressed. At least it warmed up a little bit up here. But
I know. You know, it's so funny. I was talking to someone the other day about it, and we were saying, "Yeah, stay warm." And I said, "Yeah, it's just funny. Like when it was 70, and we had a sudden drop, like almost during the same day. I don't know if you remember this. There was a day where in the morning it was 70, and then by later that afternoon it was 52 or something like that." Yeah. And it was like, holy shit, you couldn't put on enough clothes, right? But then going from 9 to 32, it became sweatshirt weather. And it was like, what the hell, man? It's like hot out. Yeah, it's just amazing how the body acclimates. But yeah, it looks like maybe we'll finally thaw out here in New Jersey.
My goodness.
Very interesting game, Super Bowl we had there. I know a lot of people have complaints about it. I don't know that to me it was one of the worst games. So I mean, I do think it was tightly played in the first half, especially. But I don't know that it was poorly played. But why don't you just give me some general thoughts on the game itself? And
Seattle 29, Patriots 13. Seattle's second Super Bowl, and I think this is the Patriots' 6th loss, if I'm not mistaken. 5th or 6th loss. They lost to the Bears, lost to the Packers, lost to the Giants twice, Eagles, and now the Seahawks.
Is that 5? Is that 5 or is that 6?
This would be 6, right? So Giants twice,
Bears,
Packers, Eagles, Seattle.
Packers, was that Favre?
Mr. Desmond Howard, Super Bowl MVP of that one. Yep, Brett Favre.
Okay,
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who was the quarterback of that one?
Drew Bledsoe.
Oh, shit. Okay, gotcha. Very good. That is 6. And is that and as many wins?
And that makes me feel good because the Broncos have 5. So get off my ass a little bit there.
Yeah. Is that the most in the Super Bowl era?
Yes.
Damn. That's impressive. I mean, it's impressive to have gone to 12.
6, right? Yeah. It's crazy.
It's nice to have gone to 12, so it's not much to complain there.
So I thought this game was, I agree with you, very tight to the vest early, and then Seattle figured out they could run the football.
Right.
Whatever New England was doing, and I give Kubiak credit. I give Sam. Well, Sam's the ultimate guy. Sam doesn't give a shit about his stats. He doesn't give a shit. But
yeah.
And then they lose Jackson Smith for a little while. That was interesting. To 2 separate injuries. Cooper Kupp was exactly what we thought he was going to be. We got beat Dip, my brother, on the Ring of Honor. Yeah,
right off the bat with the Jets sarcasm. Jesus H. Christ.
You can't get away from it, dude.
Jets are adding Darnold to the Ring of Honor. Hey. He's a former Jet and a Super Bowl champion. Why not?
This game kind of had, to me, watching the Bronco-Patriot AFC Championship game. Once, you saw, what was happening, the other team had no shot.
Yeah, I think that was the key, right? And fascinating enough, I heard this statistic. The 3 teams that went for it on 4th down the least this year were the Seattle Seahawks, the Denver Broncos. Oh, shit. I forget who was number 3. Oh, the Houston Texans.
Okay.
All 3 teams who either won 1 game in the playoffs, won 2 games in the playoffs, or won the Super Bowl. Interesting.
Imagine that.
Right?
Yeah.
And I thought it was so key. It was almost like they listened to this podcast that Seattle not only took points when the points were available instead of going for it on 4th down, but at one point late in the second quarter, they actually punted where I thought it was either punt or go for a field goal. And then it became they didn't go for it on 4th down. It was 4th and 5. And they ended up pinning New England deep in there. I think it was inside the 5-yard line. Correct. So it's interesting. Take the points, right? And we've been talking about this almost for 2 years. And then yesterday on the Herd with Colin Cowherd, his opening monologue was about, hey, analytics are fine for the regular season, but the postseason is about what he calls manalytics. And he's like, for Christ's sake, just take the points. These things are hard enough to come by. Oh, shit. Where have I heard that before?
Jesus.
Are you freaking kidding me? So that's why I say, I don't think it's just us patting ourselves on the back. From day one of this podcast, we were always not ahead of the curve. We were first to say things often. That's beyond ahead of the curve. I've said this all the time. If you're one step ahead of everybody, you're a genius. If you're two steps ahead of everybody, they call you crazy. And we've been called crazy many times on this podcast. But what you rarely do is on those types of things call us wrong. And we were right about that. Take the goddamn points. They're really hard to come by in the postseason. And you know what was also interesting about what Cowherd said is he talked about the mental part of the game. The momentum stays on your side when you put points on the board or you pin the opponent deep in their territory. And that was one thing that was very apparent pretty much right from the beginning of this game and all the way through was that Drake May definitely had happy feet. And for good reason, right? He had pressure in his face, sacked 7 times. Had
hit 18 times, I think. What was the number?
18 times. Like there was one play that he didn't get pressure and he was dancing in the pocket. And I was like, oh my God, did you see that? And you can see like he was just like, I got to get this fucking thing out of my hands. And it was a play where the line actually protected perfectly and there was no pressure. But he felt pressure because it was the pressure that was there in his head.
Dare I say it? The ghost come back to a different
he was
sideline?
Ghost.
Yeah. Oh!
So that was a big thing. Another thing that we talked about specifically was can New England run the ball? Because if they can't run the ball, then they're not going to be able to do anything. And Drake May was their leading rusher with 35 yards. So, it was clear the line of scrimmage was dominated by Seattle. This idea that Sam Darnold did nothing, I'm sorry. I was watching a different game. He threw for 200 yards. He made big throws to get first downs, kept the ball moving, and led to scores.
That's not fair.
I don't understand that because he didn't throw for 5 touchdown passes. He also didn't throw any interceptions. He also didn't have any turnovers. Oh, by the way, didn't have an interception the entirety of the playoffs.
And what, he got sacked once?
Like, what are we talking about here, folks?
Yeah,
Ran for a big first down, like where he cut back inside and got a first down. Like, I'm sorry, that was not the game that I watched. What did he put up monster numbers? No, but did he do nothing? What? I'm sorry, wrong again. That game is not 19-0 without Sam Darnold having a positive game.
Yeah, because guess what? If it's 9-0 and he makes a mistake, we have a whole different ball game.
You're one play away, right?
So,
now, I will say this. I don't know if you noticed this. I think it was mainly the first 2 drives of the game.
The ball's a little wobbly over there.
Well, he made some throws that I'm telling you what, man, they were about an inch away from either, being a pick six or being an interception. Like they were very risky throws early in that game. Now they didn't get picked and they didn't get knocked down and whatever, but okay. But that was one thing I was like, Jesus Christ, Sam does not give a shit, man. He will let it rip at any point, but he didn't have the turnover. So that was huge. And 6-point lead felt like 10-0. Like 6-0 felt like 10-0. 12-0 felt like 17-0. Like
yes,
it just was that kind of
19-0. It was over.
Yeah, exactly. When it was 19, I'm like, this game's over, dude. This game is over. Like I don't care what happened. So, and that's part of coaching, right? Like a field goal in one game could mean nothing, but a field goal in this game was huge because points were at a premium. When your defense is playing lights out, New England can barely get a first down. A field goal is a monster. It's a freaking monster.
You know who I came away really impressed with in this game in a loss? You want to guess?
Oh, Gonzalez, the corner.
Christian Gonzalez.
Oh, dude. If it's not for him,
it's over in the first half. It's over in the first
blowout. Yeah, the one pass that was over the top. I forget who it was to. Was it to Shaheed? I don't remember who it was to, but he wasn't even his guy. He came off his guy, came flying over and just got a hand on it because the ball was right there. You could make an argument that Sam could have thrown that thing an extra 2 yards and it would have been a touchdown. But, at 55 yards downfield, I'm not going to complain that much. And Gonzalez came over and just made an unbelievable game-saving at that point. Game-saving play, because if that gets connected and it's a touchdown, it's over. Momentum is just way too hard going in Seattle's direction. So
Kenny Walker named MVP. Do you have a problem with that, or you're good with that?
I don't, because that was huge, man. The fact that they just had such a running game, it shortened the game. At halftime, people that I was around were like, oh my God, is this the fastest game in history? And it's like, well, yeah, because they're running the shit out of the ball. And oh, by the way, he was also catching the ball. So he was fantastic. And I have no problem with that whatsoever. It was such a dominating performance on his part. And it was so clear. And also the style with which he did it, that kind of get the ball, stutter, stop, find a hole, and then take off again. Very Le'Veon Bell-like from back a few years ago. It's an unusual style, but it really worked well. And visually, it was fascinating. I think that had just as much to do with it. So, yeah.
You could have made an argument if Hall or Nwosu scored another touchdown and made another, the Von Miller effect that the Broncos had 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You can make an argument, but if
you needed a guy for a defensive guy, it would have had to been like 2 interceptions, or if you have a guy who has 3 sacks, one of them was a fumble or something. Like you have to have like some super insane.
Those 2 guys and Witherspoon all did something good, but they all did it individually. So like the stats didn't pile up. Like
it was spread. Yeah, it was spread. But I was just really impressed overall with Seattle. They dominated in all phases of the game, and the other thing is, and it just kind of going back to like the Sam didn't do anything. I don't know, when did being smart and playing smart become a detriment? That makes no sense to me. Like he played smart, the coaches coached smart, they coached to the way the game was being played, and the defense was freaking dominant as shit. Also something that was made pretty clear on this podcast. So I don't know. I don't think being smart is being conservative. It's just coaching the game and playing the game according to how the game is going and the momentum is going. And I just think that's smart football. I don't think that's boring. And I don't think that's, not to be celebrated. It's exactly how you're supposed to do it. These games are tight. You're playing a team that's very good. I don't care who New England played to get there. It's reason I picked Seattle, but they did get there, so, you're playing a very good team. It's a team who had 16 wins this year. Yeah. Did New England have 16 wins this year? 17 wins this year? Like, that's a good football team, and you got to play smart. You can't just give it away. So, I was impressed. I thought it was a good game. So,
I think to answer your question, it became critical at the same time when he's a game manager. Well, last time I checked, game managers are pretty key in life and football and quarterback.
Yeah, and if that's what's necessary for the game, now. The question I would ask some people is, if New England had scored some points, would Sam have been asked to do more? And I think the answer probably is yes. And I don't think that would have been a problem. I think he could have done more, and I think they would have had him do more because he has done more all year, and he's done more for 2 years. So what are we talking about? I don't know. I'm just not there with people on that one. Just because he didn't throw for 303 touchdowns means he didn't play a good game. I'm just not there with that. Playoffs are hard, man. Playoffs are hard.
Do you think Drake May's shoulder was a problem?
I don't know. I think pressure was a problem. Did it look like he was had as much steam on the ball? It didn't. But I also don't think guys were open. I also don't think
he wasn't stepping up in the pocket.
Yeah. So I think there was more than just a shoulder. It was Seattle's really fucking good. It might be the best defense they played in the playoffs, and they played some really good friggin' defenses. And maybe that added up over time too. Will Campbell struggled at times in this game.
Yeah, is that going to be a problem going forward?
I don't know. He is a rookie.
Solid season, but playoffs and Super Bowl was not good.
Absolutely, no, 100%. But this is kind of what I said about New England coming into the playoffs. What are they going to look like when you got so many young players, who have never played in this kind of intensity before? And frankly, it showed. But they did get there. So you got to give them some credit.
I'm not counting for that. Yeah.
No, not you. I'm just saying for people who are like, oh, they didn't deserve to be there. Yeah, they did. They played and beat the teams that were put in front of them. It's not their fault. That again, I'll go to that. I'll go to the Denver game. Would they have played that game a little differently if it was Bo Nix and there was no snow or whatever? I think it probably would have been played different. But they know that it's who the hell was the quarterback for Denver?
Jarrett Stidham.
They know it's Jarrett Stidham. And they know that they could stop the run, which they did. You play to the way the game is going. You don't just say this is, you could make an argument that was actually Peyton's problem as a coach in that Denver game. You played to your game plan as opposed to play to the way the game is going. You probably didn't expect to jump out to a 7-0 lead like that. Hey, take the field goal and make it 10-0. But instead, it's like, no, we're going to be super aggressive. Well, it cost you. Maybe Denver would have been in this game instead of New England if you just took the points. So that's why I'm saying, like, another stat that I saw was that the winning team for the last 3 Super Bowls or last 4 Super Bowls all had 3 or more field goals. Like, take the point.
Wow. Yeah, I like that.
Points. You just don't know how these games are going to go. So you take the points when you can get them. And I suspect as we move forward in the regular season coming up next year, 2026 regular season, you're going to see teams pull back on just because the numbers say go for it. You don't just go for it. It's situational, dude. I got no problem with people going for it on 4th down. That's not what I mean. If you're a 14-point dog and you're up against the Kansas City Chiefs, fuck it. Go for it. You know what I mean? Or, if you're late in the game, you're down, or it's 4th quarter, what I don't understand is you're on the plus 25 yard line. It's 4th and 3 and you go for it. And not only do you lose momentum, but you don't get any points. That makes no sense to me because Google does not take into consideration the psychology of a game, and it doesn't take into consideration momentum, and it doesn't take into consideration your opponent.
Nerves, weather, situation.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's a lot different going for it on 4th and 3 from the plus 25, meaning that you're going in for a score against the Jets than it is against the Patriots. Like, Patriots are a tough defensive team. Points are at a premium. Take them when you can fucking get them. Against the Jets, it's like, shit, go for it, because we're going to have plenty of opportunities here.
Well, even like Sean Payton last week or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. You don't have Josh Allen, bro, 4th and 2 on a fucking rollout play. Come on, man.
Right. Like, the situation, the personnel, your opponent, the weather, that all matters. And the numbers, when they do analytics, the numbers don't show that. And that's why you have a coach. Or else why bother? Just have some fucking nerd calling plays.
Squints,
we said the same thing with baseball, right? Like, why bother having managers that make decisions then? Just have some geek up in the stands telling you what to do because this is what the numbers say.
Yeah.
Why bother? Save the money. I don't know how much Aaron Boone makes, but save the goddamn money if it's just going to be some friggin' accountant, some coder up in a booth somewhere on a laptop making these decisions. Why bother?
Yeah. Peter, to give you some prop credit, you had the over passing yards of Drake May.
It was not looking good for a while there, but it went exactly the way I thought.
You said it was late. I said game. Late. Garbage yards. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, monster yards in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
He threw for a shit ton in the 4th quarter. Like, holy crap. I didn't even realize until like 2 days later how much it actually was.
Shaheed, I think, hit the passing receiving yards. I think
he went for 27, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it'd actually be more than that.
The one that you said a lock did not hit.
Did not. There wasn't even anything.
No.
I don't think there was anything even inside the 5-yard line.
Oh, I think it was 7 was the closest one on the catch.
Yeah.
On the Patriot last touchdown.
Yep.
I was not great. I had I missed Drake May's rushing yards by a yard.
Oh my God.
But I hit the defensive TD plus 500, so that makes
very
up for
nice.
all the losses
nice.
there. So
yeah, absolutely.
You have anything else, pal? You want to go to worst Super Bowls in history? What do you want to do here?
We can go to that. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, while we're on the topic. All right, so I asked Peter to give me. Yeah, okay, Mike, the biggest jerk off ever. You want to hear what this jerk off did to me? By the way, the biggest fucking jinx of all time.
Oh my God.
Fucking ass white Mike Mangano.
This is
Bronco game up 7-0. This is going to be a fucking blowout, dude.
Mike is the ultimate mush.
Number one rule of fucking thumb. Biggest scum dick ever. Go find your cock.
Goodness gracious. Beep, beep, beep.
Anyway. So I asked Peter to give me his worst 3 Super Bowls he's witnessed in his lifetime. And I did the same. So I'll go first. I'll go 3-1. Third was Super Bowl 60. This one.
Really?
I was falling asleep in the 3rd quarter, dude.
Oh my.
It was not great. Go ahead.
It wasn't a great game. No, it wasn't a great game.
And dude, by the time it got good, nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, I'm going to give you 3 and 2 because they're the same, but they're not the same. It's just for the same reason.
Go ahead.
Both New England versus the Giants Super Bowls. The only way, as a former Jets fan, I get anything close to what I want is if ISIS were to blow up the stadium, and I wouldn't want to lose all the fans. So that wasn't going to happen. There's no win there. It's a lose-lose no matter what. If New England wins, screw you, Pete. And if the Giants win, screw you, Pete, because all Jets fans hate the Giants and hate the Patriots.
Basically last year's Ohio State Notre Dame national championship game.
Yeah, it's just like it's a no win. It's a no win.
Number 2 for me, same team, one of them. Super Bowl 53, Patriots 13, Rams 3.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's number 1 for me.
Yeah.
That was a rough one. It was a rough watch because the difference to me with this game was one team, Seattle was moving the ball up and down the field. It wasn't the prettiest thing in the world, but they were moving the ball and scoring. That game was tough. That game was tough to watch.
That was all.
That game was tough to watch.
That was bad.
I listened to McVay talk about that game, and we talked about it last week with like paralysis by overanalysis. Like you become indecisive because you're considering so many things that it's too many things. And it was just rough, man. And what sucks about that is like Rams are really a pretty goddamn good team that year. People look at that. And this is what sucks so often about bad Super Bowls and bad Super Bowl performances. People forget like that's a good friggin' team that got to the Super Bowl. You know, we talk about the Bills and 4 straight Super Bowl losses, and it's like, yeah, but you don't know you're going to lose before the game, and they got to the Super Bowl 4 times. Like, you forget how good those teams were. So that's the shame of it. But, yeah, that one was a rough one, dude.
Cooper Kupp was on something the other day, and he was saying how, like, oh, congrats, you're a 2-time Super Bowl champ now. He goes, well, everyone forgets I was a rookie on that team that lost to the Patriots 13-3.
Oh, shit.
Because I tore my ACL, and I was on the sideline. And it was crazy because I'm a rookie, and I'm trying to figure all this stuff out and, not playing. And the craziness on the sideline when Belichick went like fucking 1-6 defense or 6-1, whatever they said, and he goes, it was mayhem. And he goes, and I love Sean. Sean's a genius. No one knew what the fuck was going on, and they put it in for like a week before, and it worked to a T. And then that's how like he goes, it was crazy, man. It was like
Belichick and them were famous for that. Yeah. And it is an absolute tribute to them to be able to pull that off, because the idea of basically installing almost an entire new defense from week to week. I mean, I'm sure you recycle things here and there, but it's amazing to be able to tailor. And you got to have smart players, which they always did.
Yeah.
And you got to have talented guys, and you got to have coachable guys.
For all 11 guys to mesh like that. Yeah,
I mean, to do that every year, week in, week out, and they just come to expect it and are able to pull it off, all the time. Like, wow. That's the very essence of do your job. But you got to know what your job is, and it's hard when it's different from week to week. Like, hey, Scotty, this week you're coming in, you're doing accounting, and next week coding, and next week sales.
Garbage.
Like, what? Yeah, next week you're mopping floors. Like, wow, it's impressive. But that game itself,
oh, that was bad.
Brutal.
Number one for me. Go ahead.
It cost
Jared Goff his fucking.
It cost Jared Goff his job. So
yeah. Number one for me, for obvious reasons. Seattle Seahawks 43, Broncos 8.
Yeah,
in my backyard over here, that was bad.
Yeah. Now, as a viewer, that as a non-fan of either of those teams, I probably wouldn't say that was one of the worst. I mean, it was a big blowout, but yeah, as a fan, for sure, that's got to be rough.
I'm glad I didn't go. Jesus Christ.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Peter, let's do our top 5 going into 2026. And I think we're going to have a lot of different teams here.
I think you might be right. So I have 5. I don't know that I'm so bold as to put them in order. So I'm just going to give you my 5. And I can even give you reasons for them, but I'll give you quick reasons for them.
Go ahead.
With number 5, I do have the Bills. I do think a new guy with new juice. Look, I know everybody says same guy that was in the building, but now whatever reins the old head coach had on Joe Brady, now those reins are gone, and now he can do whatever the hell he wants. And I think there could be a little something there. I think there can be some juice there. So I got the Bills. Seattle, I just think, look, there's a lot there. There's no reason for any of it to go anywhere. And none of it is, best I can tell. The important pieces are going to be in place, and I think they actually have some cap space to make even more moves. So I think they're not going anywhere. I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't know that anybody would say this. I think the Jags are an up and coming team. I like with what Ian Cohen did. I like how Trevor Lawrence played. I like how some of those receivers stepped up, even though the rookie was out. So I actually think things are looking up there in Jacksonville. I like them a lot. I really do like them. In fact, that was one of the first teams I thought of when I thought top 5. I also like the Chargers. I just think that's a really good football team that ran into just a shitstorm of injuries. And now you can make some free agency moves to upgrade and some draft picks to upgrade a team that I already thought was pretty damn good. So I think it's only upside right now for the Chargers. And then I think it's the same kind of scenario here for the Green Bay Packers. Just they have had some of the worst luck when it comes to injuries over the last year. I got to believe one of these years they're going to be relatively injury-free. And why not this year? And I think they're a pretty damn good team if they're healthy. I think they could use a little help on the offensive line, but a healthy Micah Parsons in the program in his second year.
Different defense now, though, sir.
Yeah, I understand
but he has one job. I know.
But he with the guys he's working with, he's working with the guys he's working with.
I know what you're saying. I'm just being.
I like the Packers. Yeah, I do like the Packers next year.
How many teams do you think we have the same?
3?
1.
Oh shit. Okay.
Well, I guess which one?
I know you're not a big fan. Seattle. Wow. None of the others. All right, I got to hear.
So I almost went Jaguars. It was right on
lead into our next segment beautifully.
So I got the Chicago Bears at 5.
I
think they put a lot of momentum on the table. Ben Johnson's obviously the guy. Caleb looks like if Caleb can play quarters 1 to 3, they're going to be a real problem. They'll add on to the defense. Their weapons on offense is crazy. So I think the Bears continue to take another step. 4 for me, I have the Ravens. Jesse Minter is going to fix that defense day one. That window's closing fast for Lamar. You could see this happening. He comes back healthy. Derrick Henry probably on his last leg. That window's closing. Better take advantage of it.
Yeah.
For 3, I got my Broncos. You want to talk about a chip on your shoulder? Without Bo Nix, watching that game, seeing how close you were, seeing how upsetting that was, and you could be that close with a quarterback and not weather and stuff like that. And they have some cap room. Now Russell Wilson comes off. Defense is top 5 in the league. Offensive line's top 5 in the league. Bo Nix comes back. They need a star receiver though. Go get Olave. Go get Pickens. Go get somebody. And for 2 and 1, I got the same NFC West teams, dude. I know Stafford's 38, but he did not look 38 this year at all. I love McVay. He's one of my favorite coaches in the league. Again, more defense, secondary help. I mean, dude, they're this close. Dude, you know what I thought of? They don't get that weird fucking 2-point conversion Seattle, that Thursday night football when Charbonnet just picked up the ball in the end zone. That game's in LA. The Rams host the championship game. It changes the whole fucking thing. I know you can't go year to year on it, but I don't think those teams are going anywhere. But
I actually had the Rams and crossed them out, and the only reason is because of health. Because I just looked at this year and I said, God, they were very, very healthy this year, and it just scares me that I feel like Matthew Stafford was as healthy as I can remember him in the last few years, and even considering the offseason where he had some offseason issues. So that was the only thing that held me back with the Rams. I'm like, he is a year older. That was the only thing for me that held me back. But that's interesting. No Bills, no Chargers. I know you don't love
I don't love her. And you want to, and listen, you want to talk about history with injuries. Fucking Chargers, man.
Yeah, and that's a tough one. It's a tough one. No,
they lost their DC. They're getting older on defense as well. That's why the division is tough.
I think they hired Adam Gase to be an assistant coach also.
Me and Mikey were talking about that. Like, Jimmy,
why would you do that?
What are you doing? Is it your favor? The fuck?
Is he just going to be the guy that squeezes water into guys' mouths through the helmet? That's okay if he does that.
H2O. With the Bills, I think, again, Josh Allen's been very healthy over his career. That defense stinks.
Well, yeah. Who they hire as their DC?
I don't know if I saw it.
I feel like I did. I was
Jaguars. I like Jaguars. I'm with you on that one. Who's the other one you got? Packers. Yeah, you know me. Me and you were both kind of like on the same every other week. Jordan Love's like a fucking superstar, and then
he doesn't complete a full season. I guess I'm just more playing the odds with that one. I just feel like sooner or later it's got to be a season where they're healthy, because I just think when they're healthy, that's a pretty good football team.
I don't disagree.
This was a team earlier in the season. Everyone was like, "Bro,
yeah, week 3, yeah, they're
Super Bowl or bust."
They're going. But dude, what also scares me with the Packers? The LaFleur not coming back talks, and then
that's fair.
They extend them. I don't know. Yeah. It's just very, very.
That talk, to be fair, that talk was always outside the building. I don't know that talk was ever inside the building, and I don't think it was, or else why the hell would you extend them? If you're thinking about letting them go, why do you extend them? So
That's true.
One thing I want to add to this conversation, shockingly or interestingly or fascinatingly enough,
Eagles.
Missing from both of our lists are the Eagles and the Chiefs, the teams that went to the Super Bowl just a year ago. A team in the Chiefs who many people were saying was the dynasty, the current dynasty. They're going to be going because of Patrick Mahomes. We're going to go forever. That moron Evan Cohen on Unsportsmanlike yesterday morning said, because I know you know how they're talking about changing their trade rules in the NFL. You're only allowed to trade picks 3 years out. So It's been proposed to make it up to 5 years out. Okay. And he was saying, if it was me, I would call the Chiefs and say, I'll give you all 5 first rounds and all 5 second rounds over the next 2 years. And I'm just like, bro, this is why don't you have someone do it and put your job on the line? Say, if it doesn't work out, I will quit.
Yeah.
Because you're a fucking idiot for saying stuff like that. But that's besides the point. 2 teams, both in the Super Bowl a year ago. One team was shooting for 3 in a row. One team has been to the Super Bowl 2 of the last 3 years before this year. Neither one of them do we have in a top 5. Neither one of them. I think that's interesting. So I think that leads us really well into this segment, which I asked you about. And I just thought it'd be cool. Like, why not make some way, way too early predictions for next year? We haven't even had free agency. I haven't even, sobered up from the hangover after the Super Bowl. We haven't had a draft, but why not come up with some really good predictions? And maybe we'll hold on to these and see how good we do with these.
Peter,
I have 3, by the way.
I have 3 as well, and you led me into a perfect segue. 2026 will be Nick Sirianni's last year with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, you kind of spelled it out with them not being a top 5 team. If they're not a top 5 team, that means they're not a Super Bowl team, which means they're probably an early out in the playoffs again.
If AJ comes back and there's more bullshit there, a 4th offensive coordinator, 5th offensive coordinator in a row. There's just that fan base.
The offensive coordinator that they hired.
Oh my God.
Mannion.
It's a career backup.
He's a career backup, which I don't have a problem with. That usually make good coaches, but he's only been on the sideline for 2 years.
Well, dude, how about him and that guy from the Rams, the Nate Shieldhouse, the passing game coordinator? These guys are coming out of the left field now.
That's a big job for a good. It's one thing if
it's a huge job.
If the Browns hired him as offense coordinator,
the Dolphins,
no harm, no foul, but one of the best teams in the league. Wow, that's a risky one, man. Wow.
I agree.
I'm okay with that one. Okay, 3 teams with second-year quarterbacks who had amazing years this year, all take a step backwards.
Broncos, Denver, Bears, and the Patriots.
Yes, all take a step backwards this year. Why? Think of Denver. How many games did they have to make wicked, wild comebacks?
Yeah.
Beating, teams that they should have beat. Schedule wasn't insane. New England, easiest schedule in 25 years. Not going to happen next year. They're going to have a Super Bowl team's schedule next year. And Chicago, similarly to both of those teams, they had a very easy schedule and they had to make some ridiculous comebacks. By the way, both Chicago and New England had to make comebacks against the Giants. So maybe you're right. They're a top 5 team next year. I just think, I'm not saying they're going to stink. I'm not trying to say that these teams are going to be bad. Denver was a number 1 seed. New England was a number 2 seed, were they?
Yeah.
And Chicago, I think, overproduced this year. And I just think all 3 of them will take a bit of a step backwards next year.
Chicago was a 2 or 3 seed too, weren't they?
I don't know where they ended up. They did have a home playoff game, right? They're 2 home playoff games.
Yeah.
So they were probably pretty high up there. Yeah. I just think they all end up taking a step back. Now that just might mean like 1 or 2 wins less than the previous year. I think it could be a little more interesting for New England. I'm interested. They need to make the right moves because especially on the offensive side of the ball. But I think they all take a step backwards next year.
I don't hate that. And we're partners for a reason because I have something similar. The New England Patriots will have a losing record next year.
Losing record. Wow, you're really pushing it back.
Yeah, I think a
lot of things went in their favor this year.
I think a lot of things went in their favor. Vrabel, I like Vrabel as a coach. Don't get me wrong. Drake May, I think whatever the playoff games were, postseason, maybe people are starting to figure it out.
You know what's interesting too? Not only did they have an easy schedule, but they played the right team at the right time.
Oh my God, the whole year except the Super Bowl.
I think about Tampa. Like they played Tampa and beat Tampa, but they played Tampa when Tampa was like not playing well, not winning.
Baker was hurt.
Right. In the beginning of the season, we were like, Baker's an MVP candidate. Tampa is a legitimate Super Bowl contender. They weren't playing him then. They played him when Mike Evans was hurt and Godwin was hurt. Things were just going bad and downhill quickly for Tampa. And to New England's credit, they kept things going downhill for Tampa. So good for them. But it was like timing was right. The schedule was right. Yeah, I just think that a losing record, that'd be. Now, look, I just want to say this, whether it's a losing record or not, I think it's an actual natural progression to take a step back, right? Why? Why do I say that? Well, because you're one of the better teams next year, this year. You're not going to take anybody by surprise next year. You're going to have a target on your back next year. And what do I always say about these guys? These defensive coordinators all off season are studying New England, what they did, what is he good at? What is Drake May good at? What should we take away? And you're going to have to do something different next year, which I suspect they will, but will you do it well? Right. So I'm with you. I really do think that's something. For me, number 2, I think the Chiefs missed the playoffs again. Folks, I know everybody's saying they got to do upgrades. They got to do this. They got to do that. As we sit here right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are $40 million over next year's salary cap. So right now they got to make cuts to a team that already has needs just to get under the cap. Never mind, make changes, make upgrades. So I think there's issues there. I hear that Patrick Mahomes is ahead of schedule with his rehabilitation, so maybe he actually can start the season. I'm sorry. I think that's a stretch. I think it's a full year rehab or at least 11.
Might be foolish as well.
It might be foolish as well. So I don't know about that. I think the Chiefs missed the playoffs again. You got to also take into consideration that division, very good. I think the Chargers will be better, and they had a good season. I think Denver will still be good, maybe not as good. And I think the Raiders will probably be improved. So, yeah, I think it's going to be tough for the Chiefs again.
We've said that for 20 years.
This is true. Good point.
My last one, sir. I have the Dallas Cowboys playing in the NFC Championship game.
I do not hate this one at all.
Against the Chicago Bears.
I don't know about the Bears, but one of the things I said all year, and I caught some heat from people. I actually thought they coached. What's this freaking for Brian? I thought Schottenheimer coached pretty damn well this year.
I think really well. Yeah.
I think that surprises a lot of people. Most people looked at that as a dumb hire, like like a backhanded hire, like you couldn't get anybody else, so you took Schottenheimer. One of the things I said to you before the season when I saw some like film from I guess you would call it Dallas camp from the previous year was that I just liked how he talked to the players, and I liked the way they kept their eyes on him while he was talking. It just screamed to me like he has their attention. He knows how to talk to them. And I've said this a million times. Great coordinators don't necessarily make head coaches. Great leaders make head coaches. I couldn't tell you as we sit here right now. I think, oh my God, what the frick is his name? The Giants' great head coach, Bill Parcells. I think Bill Parcells was a defensive guy, but I don't know. I mean, I think, but I don't know. What I do know was he was a great leader of men. I think Jimmy Johnson was a defensive guy, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I do know that he was a great leader of men. You know what I mean? And to me, that's what I saw from Schottenheimer. So yeah, I think that's a stretch, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's a ballsy one, and if you get that right, Jesus Christ, we'll order somebody to come in and give you a nice hand job. For me, it would be I'd be remiss if I didn't have a Super Bowl prediction for next year at this point. I'm going to say that Josh Allen, against what Scotty thinks, I think Josh Allen wins his first Super Bowl. It might be his only Super Bowl, but his first Super Bowl for sure against the Green Bay Packers. And that game will take place in LA, folks. So if you're one of the players for the Bills or the Packers, try to get all of your bonuses. Make sure they land in the AFC and NFC championship game. Did you hear how much money Sam Darnold actually lost after his bonuses because of California taxes?
A small fortune.
He actually ended up paying more in taxes than he got for winning.
That's bonuses. Crazy, man.
Boomer Esiason actually came on somewhere. I don't know if it was an X post or on his radio show. It was the radio show.
Yeah.
He said the NFL Players Association should say we're not playing any more Super Bowls in California until they change these laws. Because the idea that Sam Darnold made $4 million in bonuses because of what he did in the playoffs and Super Bowl, and he ended up paying like $2.1 million in taxes to California. Like, that's insanity, and that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
He doesn't even work there. He just worked there for one fucking day.
So I'm going to throw a fourth one in here, Peter, but it's more like a question. We go back and forth here. 10 new coaches in the NFL. How many do you think are one and done?
Well, let's go. Do you remember who the coaches are?
I do. We could do it.
Can we do that? Let's go one at a time, and I'll let you know.
Giants Harbaugh.
No.
Ravens Minter.
No, that's not their style.
Let's do Raiders Kubiak.
I don't think so.
Dolphins Halfley.
I think that's possible.
I do too.
I don't think it's likely, but I think we'll go if it's possible. I think it's possible.
I think it's possible. Cardinals LaFleur.
I think it's possible.
I think it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Browns Munkin.
I think it's possible.
I
almost think it's likely.
I think you might just fire him now.
Yeah.
Let's do Steelers McCarthy.
Unlikely.
Falcons Stefanski.
No.
Missing somebody. We are going to Saleh Titans.
No. Right? No. Wait, who did he hire as offense coordinator? Someone good, right?
Dable.
Yeah, no. They're gonna be okay. They'll be improved.
So I think.
So what was that? 4?
That was 4. I think.
Jesus Christ, those are brand new hires.
So
that doesn't mean I like all of the other ones. It just means I don't think they're going to get fired.
So the thing that confused, and listen, we're not in meetings, we're not in interviews, we don't know what the fuck goes on. The whole Rams staff. Oh yeah, I got the Raiders idiot. Mikey, sorry, so it's me again. I'm sorry, Mikey. I didn't mean to call you an idiot. Bills. Well, Pete's got Bills winning fucking Super Bowl, so I know he's in trouble.
It's not their style anyway. They're not a one and done kind of team. Like, you got to take ownership into consideration here.
The whole Rams staff stays. Oh no, was LaFleur the Rams OC?
Yes.
All right, so they'll promote in Chillhouse probably at that point, right? that'd make sense. But Chris Shula was like the favorite for like, no, it's McVay's offense. You're just really getting you want to talk about getting a guy water. That's what you're doing in that fucking offense.
You're trying to learn as much as you can. That's what you're
trying to absolutely.
Yeah, that's. No.
I think there's better coordinator hires this year than some coaching hires.
I think you're probably right.
Vance Joseph to the Niners, I think, and Dable to the Titans.
And look, what do we say all the time? Like, some guys are just meant to be coordinators. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, I hear people talking about who's the defense coordinator for Chiefs?
Spags.
Yeah, how does he not get a chance? Well, he had a chance. He didn't do well, and I think he knows who he is. And he's got a fucking killer job. Like,
yeah.
So why would you do it anyway? But something I don't know, dude. And people hear me saying like, "Oh, you fucking hate him." I'd murder somebody to be an offensive coordinator for one of these NFL teams, dude. So no, I'm not saying that. It's a fucking great job. I'm just saying some people are not leaders as much as they are thinkers.
Yeah,
it just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I look at like Spags and I say the guy is a genius when it comes to developing defenses, and not only that, when he doesn't necessarily, and this is going back a couple years with the Chiefs, when he doesn't necessarily have great personnel, he finds a way to make it work as the season goes on and they peak right at playoff time and play their best defense at the end of the year. Like, I don't think that's nothing. I think that's special. I think that's.
By the way, I said Vance Joseph to the Niners. That's Raheem Morris said Niners. Vance Joseph. But I'm with you. Guys that should be coordinators. The guy Olbrich on the Falcons. The DC that was on the Jets was solid. He's a good DC.
And he keeps getting hired for a friggin' reason. We said this about Todd Bowles. I still question how good of a head coach he is, but I have zero doubts in my mind and my heart how just special he is at calling defense. He literally has never failed at having good defenses. Never. So I just think that says something, And I like the guy. He's an absolute, he's as good a person as you're going to come across in the NFL, Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
So it's, again, not personal. It's just, the product is what the product is.
Peter, we had some golf over the weekend.
Didn't we?
Somebody that told you to put some money.
He did.
On Mr. Christopher Gotterup.
Get her up.
So Mr. Gotterup wins the Waste Management, and thank you to Hideki Matsuyama for couldn't hit a fairway, for Christ's sake.
It was wild too, man. He really happened and he couldn't reel it back in.
You know what annoys me though, man, and you're a golfer and stuff, and can we get these fucking idiots with the screaming when they're in their backswing?
That's just brutal.
Dude, can you be a fucking adult? You're overserved. Make an example out of these motherfuckers. And
12 beers deep. 12 beers deep. Everyone needs to be special on social media.
Yep.
You're a jerk off, dude. You're a freaking jerk off. That's all. You're not special. You're known because you're an asshole. Congratulations. Good for you.
They're stumbling down the hill, dude. You're fucking idiot.
That's what I'm saying. You're a 30-pack in and acting like an asshole. It's a freaking golf tournament, man. Like, grow up.
And you know what's funny?
I got no beef with someone drinking a 30-pack. Just do that at home.
and the fact that like
scream at the screen.
16's a fucking crazy show, whatever. There's no drama on that hole. It's everywhere else that people are doing this shit.
And you know why that works? For the same reason it works in the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup, because there's noise from before from the minute you walk up to the ball. As long as it's consistent, it doesn't matter. It's the jolting shit that bothers players. Like, if there's roaring the whole time, you'll get sometimes roaring.
It's like silence.
It doesn't matter because it's consistent, So, they're just dickheads. Just dickheads.
Scotty Scheffler, unreal.
Made a run.
He went from 3 holes on Friday, missing the cut, to finishing fucking third.
And he was 1 stroke behind and 1 putt from tying the lead.
It's really incredible.
17, whatever the hell it was. 16.
It's really incredible.
It's something, And the funny thing is, it was exactly what I was hoping to see. Like I said, we need somebody to challenge him. You never see him have to come from behind, and here he is, just like, hold my beer. Let's see if we can make a run here. It would have been crazy if he did. And the funny thing is that I'm looking at it, and he was like at 14, and the leader was at 15. He needed to hit a putt to tie. but the leaders were back at 12 and he's at 16. And you're thinking even if he hits this, it's not going to hold. Well, I'll be damned if he hits that and then gets a birdie, either 17 or 18. He's sitting right at fucking 16.
I know.
And that would have been, he would have been in the playoff, which is crazy. I didn't think it would have been enough, but it would have been enough. So it's wild. So it was cool. It was really cool in that sense.
This week, the little pro-am in Pebble. Which is
These are not my favorite.
But it's fun. It's something to watch. It's like, fuck.
It's something. Yeah, there's not a lot. So
you ready for trivia, sir?
Oh man, I want to let everybody know. I asked Scotty before we came on air. I asked him, "Hey, we went through the schedule, and then I said, hey, you got trivia today?" He's like, "Oh yeah."
No, it's nothing crazy.
It's
nothing crazy.
Yeah, that's what she said.
But it's tough.
All right,
my friend. Who is first all time in rushing touchdowns at the University of Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Darrell Thompson, Lawrence Maroney, Muhammad Ibrahim, Marion Barber III.
Marion Barber III is one of the only ones I know. What was the second one?
Lawrence Maroney, played for the Patriots.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to go with Lawrence Maroney.
He shouldn't have. It's Muhammad Ibrahim at 53 touchdowns.
Where was Maroney?
He had 32, so he was down the list a little bit.
Yeah,
but I had to give you a name.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Italian guy.
Yeah. Who is first all time in receiving touchdowns at the University of Minnesota? Tyler Johnson, Tutu Atwell, Rashad Bateman, or Eric Decker?
Oh man, I'm probably wrong, but I'm between Bateman and Decker. I think Decker's probably more like your possession receiver, which might mean more catches, blah, 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 blah. Bateman was really good. Oh, man. I'll go with Bateman.
Tyler Johnson.
I'm really struggling here.
Alessandro Mangano, 0 for 2.
I'm not up on my Gopher trivia.
All right, this is one up your alley. You're a Midwest student. Who's first all time in passing touchdowns at Northwestern?
First all time passing touchdowns at Northwestern. Okay, I might notice one.
Zach Kustak, Mike Kafka, Clayton Thorson, Trevor Siemian.
Nope, it wasn't one of the guys that I thought. I was waiting for you to say. So there was a point where I think the head coach's name was Walker.
Randy Walker.
I think he died.
He did die, yeah.
They used to put up some monster points. By the way, the offense that you played in, sir, under me, was very much designed in the same vein. The idea was we need to get a play off within 8 seconds of the referee putting the ball down on the spot. That's how they ran it. That's very.
They had no choice.
You have no advantage anywhere else, So and they had pretty good teams back then. So all right, let's hear those names again.
I think he brought them to a Rose Bowl. Right? There were two, didn't he?
One time, yeah.
First all-time passing touchdown: Zach Kustak, Mike Kafka, Clayton Thorson, Trevor Siemian.
I mean, Trevor Siemian. I'm gonna go with Kafka.
Clayton Thorson.
Is he like the most recent one on that list?
Yeah, I think he was a couple years back.
No shit.
Yeah, because there's another guy that I thought. I don't know if it was the guy you had in mind. A guy named Brett Bazinet played a long time there, and he put up crazy fucking numbers.
That's what I was thinking of. There was definitely somebody during the Walker years that I was like, oh my god.
Kustak was there, I think, during the Walker years.
They enamored me. That offense enamored me. This is why I've always been such a fan of college football. I've always been enamored with less talented teams finding a way to compete against the good teams. San Jose State was one of those teams back in the day. A lot of the California Hawaii definitely. Like we know we can't line up and compete with you. So we got to do something different. It's where the run and shoot came from. It's where the spread offense came from. Minnesota Duluth ran a spread offense, and it was because they just didn't have the talent. So they were like, okay, we can't beat you up front. So I got a fast guy. I'm going to put him in space, and you're going to have to tackle him. And all these big, fat, tough guys are not going to play a part in the equation. And it was fucking brilliant.
What was Mike Leach's approach? Something kind of like that. You couldn't get
his was the air raid offense.
So,
and he had humongous spreads on the offensive line. So where an offensive line usually between the guard and center and a center and tackle might be 3 feet, he would have it 5 feet. And why would he do that? Because he would want you to have to take your defensive end and kick him out an extra 3 yards, which for the quarterback means an extra full second.
Yeah.
Even if I don't block the fucker, he's just that much wider and I can get the ball out of my hands quicker. Why? Because he was at Kentucky with, oh my God, there was another guy.
Hal Mummy.
Hal Mummy. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then he went to Texas Tech, then Washington State, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I've always loved these guys. And what's funny is then the good team stole from them. Because well, if it works for you, imagine what we could do with talented players.
Yeah.
We'll use that same shit with really good players, and now there's no advantage.
Well, that was kind of like Joe Tiller with fucking Purdue too, right?
Absolutely.
Like Breeze and
no question about it.
They had some guys, Curtis Painter up there. Yeah.
You're Purdue. You're not going toe to toe with Michigan, Ohio State, Wisconsin. You're just not.
Yeah.
Too much beef, man. Too much beef. So yeah, and it was always great. And I just was always, man. I know this sounds like, what's wrong with you? But I would sit there on a Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening with a stack of paper, plain paper. And I would just, draw. I would just copy the plays. I would just draw plays. And then I would modify them because, I don't have Drew Brees at quarterback.
Yeah.
So you have to modify it in a way that works for you at a high school level. But just a lot of great shit, Why over was Hal Mummy. I was in a coach's conference. I know everybody's loving this conversation right now, but I was in a coach's conference and they're drawing up this play and I'm like, it's basically unstoppable if you run it correctly and you run it from multiple formations.
Yeah.
It's unstoppable because it's adjusted based off of defensive movement and you just can't stop it. Anyway, yeah, I love that kind of stuff. So.
And ladies and gentlemen, Peter's going to turn his lights off and get some music on, and he's going to enjoy himself.
I'm going to go get a stack of paper and start drawing X's and O's because it gets me going. For Scott Bracey, I'm Pete Colasano. You've been listening to Bump and Run, and we'll catch you guys in a couple weeks.
See you in a few weeks, guys. Thank you for a great football season. We'll check you later.